For you today, Tate landed in Florida and went on the PBD show and roasts Desantis. So we're gonna watch this and react real quick. But I'm gonna let this go all the way through, and then I will react at the end. All right. So it's a couple minutes long.
Everybody's doing their thing. Nobody's paying attention to what's going on, and then all of a sudden, Andrew and Tristan Tate are on a flight on their way to Florida. They haven't tweeted anything for 24 hours. You guys concerned people when you stop tweeting things, right? And then all of a sudden, tweet X, whatever you want to call it, there was no message going out. I don't know if you can say Xing, right? They were tweeting. So then all of a sudden, the news is you land in Florida. Everybody sees the video. When that happens, the great governor of Florida, which is one of the reasons why we moved here, he does a great job running the state. He was asked about you. This is what he had to say. Rob, if you can play the clip.
Send back to Romania or whatever.
We have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media. Clearly, the federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct.
Just so you guys know, Tate doesn't have a single charge in any country. His case was thrown out due to falsification of evidence.
In the air, and I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved.
However, that being said, I do not know. He's been accused of some absolutely horrific things. If those things are true, yes, very much not welcome and should be thrown in jail. However, similar to how they've treated every single person who has conservative viewpoints in the news media, etc., he's innocent until proven guilty, and I treat everybody on both sides that way. And right now, Tate's still innocent.
We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening. Okay, guys.
So he says you're not welcome. Now, President Trump was asked. President Trump was asked the same question. This was his reaction, and I'm just going to turn it over to you after this.
The federal government has jurisdiction.
Can you turn off the other one, Rob? Just close it up. Yeah, there you go. Go for it.
Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused rapists, human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles.
Keep in mind, this is what those same channels, every single one of these people, the same people, call Trump a felon, call Trump this, call Trump that, yada, yada, yada. But magically, there's no convictions. Magically, nothing actually ever sticks. Let's see what Trump says.
Your administration pressured the Romanian government to release them, and if so, why?
I know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
Andrew and
So you got the governor says Florida is not a place where you belong or welcome to. President Trump says he doesn't know anything about it. How were you allowed to come to the States and leave Romania?
You know what's interesting? Trump is such a boss. Trump is such a boss.
Now, I will say this. Andrew knows exactly what he's doing when he says that. He knows the key to Trump's heartstrings is flattery. Okay? Everyone knows that about Trump. Whether he thinks that or not, which I think he does. I think he actually thinks Trump is a G. If you've watched any of his content, he's pretty consistent with that. But he's saying this on purpose to try to get a leg in with Trump.
His answer is, he is such a gangster. Don't know. I don't know anything about it. I don't know. That's the correct answer to most things. This is some life advice to everybody at home. 99% of the time, if you're asked a question as a man, the correct answer is, I don't know. I don't know. So I like Trump's answer. As for Ron, I'm a little bit disappointed, I'll be honest. I've never said anything bad about him. I didn't know much about him. I was a fan of his. I heard that Florida was a great state. I know he did well under COVID. I knew nothing about the guy. But it turns out when he was pressured, he instantly caved to the pressure. And we have to have a long conversation about why the liberals and why Soros and why these wrap-up smears, why they use the media to do what they do. Because what they try and do is isolate somebody. So they're afraid to be, so people are afraid to represent them or stand by them or stick up for due process. I don't know why Ron's answer wasn't, he has an American passport. The judicial system in Romania, which I know absolutely nothing about, decided to let him fly, and he's flown to his home country. As far as we're concerned, he's broken no laws. Instead, what he did was say, we're going to get our attorney general to try and find some laws he's broken and wreck this man who's done nothing inside of the United States ever. Isn't the whole point of democracy innocent until proven guilty? I've yet to even have a trial, let alone a conviction. I've never even been tried. After 3 years, I've never been to trial. All those times I'm walking in and out of court, I've never had a trial. And communism, as we've understood it and tried very hard to fight against for so long, the basic premise is that you find the man and then find the crime. Yep. Is that not exactly what Ron DeSantis just promised to all of his constituents? It's not, we've seen a crime, let's find the perpetrator. It's, we found a man, let's see if we can find a crime to pin on this man. Is that the American way? Is that democracy? Is that innocent until proven guilty? Now, I'm not afraid of it because I know I've done nothing wrong. But it's quite unusual and quite scary for me to land as an American citizen, expecting a hero's welcome after dealing with a foreign and complicated judicial process, and being told that now the American state is going to be set on me, trying its very best to lock me up here when I've done nothing wrong ever. This is communism in and of itself. I may as well fly back to Romania. This is incredible that I landed and the governor of Florida is like, don't worry, I told my attorney general to try and find things this man's done. Where did that even come from? So I'm very, very disappointed in Ron. I think he did it because he caved under media pressure. And if he wants some media training, he can hit me up. There's no problem. If he wants training, Ron, there's a reason you lost the presidential election. There's a reason you got wrecked. If you want some training, come to me and I'll tell you. Your correct answer was, we have no information of crimes he's committed inside of the United States. He has an American passport. We were not aware of his arrival, but it's not really our concern. He's an American citizen returning to his home country. If he breaks the law within Florida, he will be held accountable as well as any other person would be. And until that point, that's it. But instead, he just completely caved and folded. You know what's really interesting? The liberals, Soros, all these NGOs, the media, they understand something intrinsically that conservatives do not understand. In the conservative world, an accusation is the same as a conviction, which is why liberals are so effective. The liberals will accuse a conservative of something. They'll wrap-up smear them. Hello, Ron. Nancy Pelosi explained the wrap-up smear. She explained it herself. You can find the clip of her explaining. You get the media to repeat something so many times that that person's name becomes toxic. And then what that person says isn't significant anymore because of the accusations attributed to their name. Nancy Pelosi described how they do this to people.
Is this a clip?
Let's play it.
Yeah, this is nuts. This is nuts.
So they don't want them to see that contrast, so they focus on something else. And it's a diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody
about it openly
with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this, so they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear.
She literally just described what they do to people openly in front of the world, and no one cares. They do this to everyone that they don't like. So if you guys want to watch the whole podcast, I haven't gotten all the way through it, but it's Patrick Bet David, obviously way bigger name than me. I read his books. I love his books, phenomenal books. Obviously, he leans very hard to Trump, but he typically is very good, right? He's typically very good, very, very, very well spoken. Whether you love the guy or hate the guy, and there's a million people on either side on PBD, but the guy can speak well. He explains things better than almost anyone on the planet besides maybe Hormozy. He's so good at taking complicated things and simplifying them with logic to where even a kindergartner could understand it. So if you guys want to go watch the whole episode, I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. I can't wait to go watch the rest of it, but he smashes Desantis for another 10 minutes. I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but if you guys want to go watch it, have fun. Have a great day, guys. If you like this video, you like these reacts, hit the like, hit the sub, all the YouTube shit.